What's up, guys? Sub-Zero here, back for another VOD review. Today, doing a Cambulee VOD review. I VOD reviewed Cam before, but if you guys haven't seen me VOD review this guy, he is one of the most improved TFT players over the last few sets. Somebody where, a few sets ago, when I started playing the game a million years ago, actually, nobody had ever heard of this guy, and then just set after set has gotten better and better and better, and now he is just one kind of step below, I would say, the Mount Rushmore of TFT. Not like a Dish Soap Wage and Iverson level, but just one step below that. All right. He looks at void mods here, and this is actually very, very important because of what we're going to be playing this game. Spoiler alert, it is a void game. Because a lot of people have changed how they play void over the past few weeks and months. But we will just talk about the fact that he has the spine spitters on 2, and then obviously has a tank one on the one that isn't a spine spitters, and then has the adrenaline on 6. Now, why is this important? Well, if you guys watched a lot of the Paris Open, if you guys watched a lot, before any nerfs to this Void comp, the way a lot of people used to play Void, being, a few short weeks ago, is that you would play Void as a fast 9, fast 10 comp. You would very often play 6 Void, just use all your mods, and then play a couple extra units. Wukong and Swain, really, nice additions onto that board, and you would just play around 6 Void. No longer is that really the case, and we'll talk more after Augment here, but much more nowadays there is a focus onto 4 Void. Savings account, Heroic Grab Bag, 2-Trick here. I don't think it's ever savings account. This one sucks. 2-Trick, the thing is, I really want to play Void here. Do you ever even mind just taking Heroic Grab Bag here and then going dupe here and then dupe here and then boom, you're good? If you think about it compared to 2-Trick here, 2-Trick is how much, a random 2-star 2 cost, which is worth 5, call it 6 gold, and then 2 random 2-star 1 cost. So it's kind of 12 gold if you think about it. And Heroic Grab Bag here, if we double dupe on a 2 cost, is going to be worth 9 gold. So you lose out on the gold, but you do get the consistency of having a Cho 2. I would really consider the Heroic here, but we'll see here looking at, because the problem with 2-Trick, in my opinion, is you already know you want to play Void. If we hit 2-Trick here and hit, I don't know. There's a lot of good hits. If we hit a random Xin Zhao or something, what are we going to do? Just play as a frontline with Guinsu and Cog? It's not the end of the world. But maybe I'm just a Bedge, consistent player, and I want to take this instead of high rolling with 2-Trick, because there are certainly good hits with 2-Trick. He does end up taking it, and he hits Cho'Gath here. Oh my god! So that's that solved. It worked out, and then we dupe the Kog'Maw, slam the Spine Spitters, and slam these items here. All right, and this allows us to make 10, which is a huge buff to our econ here. All right, let's talk more about this Void comp though. So like I said, gone are the days really of playing 6 Void. I think a lot of people realize that to play 6 Void, you do have to play a lot of just kind of mediocre units, and you can actually stabilize this comp a lot harder on 4 Void, provided that you have Spine Spitters on 2 or 4. And so Spine Spitters has kind of been identified as just the best damage mod for a Void in general. It is just so much extra damage, and the Adrenaline Rush one really just not that great. A lot of people call this the worst damage Void mod. You'd actually prefer the other damage one, the sucky one, over the Adrenaline Rush. So you basically are praying for a third Void augmentation mutation, Adrenaline Rush, which is actually what we have here. Not gonna be Woven Magic. I don't really want to take another econ here. Heavy is the Crown, and yeah, it looks like Cam is checking the stats here to see about the Crown of Demacia onto Kaisa. Honestly, why don't I check the stats too, and I'll pause for you because I'm a nice guy. Survey says it's meh. Not horrible, not amazing, slight positive delta, so, not really something you want to jump for joy for, but something that you could take if you have to here. It's not Spear's Will, and it's not that, so I think it does have to be Heavy as the Crown here, though I don't think we're, once again, I don't think you're going crazy for this. I think it's a totally acceptable option. Does kind of mean we're going to have to go defensive item last here. We kind of need either a Gunblade or even an Edge of Night. I actually played a game earlier today where I had Edge of Night Kaisa, and it felt really good versus all these Diana boards and stuff like this, reminding me of Edge of Night Ashe in the past. Build your Guinsu, build your scaling items, and then build your Edge of Night so the unit just doesn't die to insane. The amount of backline access that exists on this patch is just insane here. Is a 1-cost Rod if we want to just... I would just finish the Gunblade here, honestly. Yeah, I think this makes perfect sense here. The downside is you're not balancing frontline and backline components. We have essentially 3 full items backline and 0 full items frontline. But the upside is it's an immense spike. Getting to our 3rd item here makes us so much stronger. And so I think in this spot, it makes perfect sense to actually just take this here. And then we just have to pray a little bit that we hit some tank items. If we do end up getting more damage items on minions here, our life is not going to be great. But you can see why people like this line from exactly this spot. Our board is very strong here. We're farming up a really quick Rift Herald. I mean, this is just the perfect void spot. And so I'm happy that we get to watch Cam play it out here. You've seen Lysander, who's a great 4-cost, but I don't think we're going to throw away this like basically fully upgraded, all like good unit board here to do that. It just doesn't really make sense, I would say. So yeah, we're going to continue to chill on this board, and we actually take our 5th win here. So fantastic here. All right, let's talk a little bit about the future of this comp, though, because like I said, 6 Void, really these days, people have realized that there's just no reason to play it. If you have Spitter Spines and then damage, and then Tank Mod on the next one, or, you know, Tank 1 on 2 and then Spitter Spines on 4, you're good not playing for a 6 Void mod, and you can just play a lot of better units. So in that tweet from Bosso, he talks through, once again, that'll be in the description down below. Bosso, go follow that guy if you are not following Bosso Kills. That guy has been putting out insanely good guide content on Twitter for free. I mean, the guy's just been an absolute beast here. We do get tank items here. This is great. I wonder... I would probably make a Bramble here just because I think Bramble's broken on this patch because there's so much AD, but Steadfast does make more sense from an item economy standpoint. So we'll see where we want to go with it. The more I look at it, I mean, if there's any AP in the lobby, I would make Steadfast for sure. It's just Bramble feels so hard to not make Bramble here. Level up here, and we do get our Zappy module here. Does opt to make the Steadfast here. I mean, yeah, just a great item, and it leaves the chain open here for another tank item. The awkward thing if you make Bramble is that it leaves Glove open, and then you kind of have to go Bramble Steadfast, versus in this situation, you get Steadfast, and then you get to keep chain open for, you know, whatever you want here. But yeah, pick up Taric here, who's a great +1 on this board, so we are just going to play him over the Electoral Overload here. We don't need more damage on this board. We have infinite scaling, essentially, with the Gwynsu's Rageblade plus the Crown here. So we just need fights to go long, and we also do need to dodge things like Caitlyn ults here, rotate into a full sacking player here, so don't have to worry about accidentally losing this fight, and yeah, the spot's looking amazing. Okay, if I don't interrupt myself one more time, we can talk more about the board. On level 7, level 8, that kind of stuff. It's always a 4 Void board, because obviously you want your damage mod for Kai'Sa, and then you want your tank mod for the Rift Herald. And what you'll see a lot of time is like a 4 Void, 4 Bruiser setup. Also has a few builds there where you can play 4 Void, 4 Bruiser, fit Ionia in with Ahri, and then get Arcanist in, which is really, really cool. You can fit stuff like Zillion onto the board, you know, provided that you unlock the Koboko plus Yumi, which works really nicely onto the board. You can play still around stuff like the Swain. You can really do anything. This board is so much more flexible when you are playing around that 4 Void that it's really just play around upgraded units, play around what you hit, and you'll have a great time. All right, Bramble, well, 1 Bramble does get yoinked off Carousel. I would still certainly be looking at that Bramble if we can get it here. If you can't, I mean, there's Sunfire, there's, I would just take the belt here, and then I guess you slam Sunfire if you need it to streak here. I'd prefer not to slam it, but we will see here. All right, Rift Herald unlocked on this board, and just doing a full scout here, and ooh, big grab bag here. I mean, big grab bag. I mean, we're playing a set of TFT in a year that starts with any number, so big grab bag is not bad. And we do get, wow, Redemption Gargoyle Leaf belt open? Maybe? Sunfire Redemption? Yeah, okay. Spirit Visage, Sunfire here. And then he does make the Sunfire. He actually, I would have, I mean, I think most people just don't value this Gargoyle item very much. I was thinking the upside to making Gargoyle here is that it leaves Morello open, but I guess his other thought is like, what are we really doing? Actually, the more that I think about it, isn't Sunfire actually quite good in this comp, especially because you're often playing stuff like Wukong. And so yeah, he's actually going to team play around all the options. Sampler platter here, so you can hit Ahri and play around it. You can hit stuff like Malz and Bel'Veth and even play the 6 Void if you have to. You can hit Tark and play around it. You can hit Swain and play around it. I mean, there's stuff that we would like to play that we don't even have in that team planner. It's just everything. You can literally play 4 Void and friends and have a very, very good time, which is really nice. I mean, it just adds a nice flexible line. Obviously, you have to hit the early void to play it, but it's awesome that you have that variety. We do we do anti-Diana positioning here, and it ends up actually kind of biting us in the butt because we get Trindamired here with the Prowler's Claw. I mean, honestly, we were probably always losing this fight against a Prowler's Claw Tryndamere. That's actually going to be really annoying for us later. We have to just make sure that Trynd gets stuck on a main tank here, because if we don't, our life is going to be quite difficult. Okay, we are just at this point chilling, just making sure he popped the crown off there just to make sure that we don't accidentally lose the fight to minions, because I've seen it happen before. I've seen it happen many times before. Looking to me like, I mean, you could just make a Wormhug's Gargoyle here. Yeah, you just need more frontline and maybe Steadfast, and then you leave Rod open for Spark to get some MR Shred. Maybe that's it, Wormhug Steadfast here. I could see that, certainly. And then you put the kind of util items onto the Wukong, who will oftentimes be played on this board, but not necessarily. He has to make Wormhugs and then Peepo sit here. We will wait and see what our level 8 looks like, because we don't have an augment coming here. We have all of the early LeBlanc augments here. All right, gonna level here. The quite awkward thing about this comp is obviously you need to unlock Kai'Sa before you really roll here. So we kind of have to level and sit around and then roll on 4-3. Is just the way of the world in this comp. Not too much you can do about it. And you can already see Cam doing this kind of flex stuff. Also, wow, reforged the chain here, saying like, I kind of need more damage items here, and finds TG, which is just going to go onto the Chosif Gath here as a solid, just random, whatever item. We see what will end up hitting around that. All right, pick up a win here. Now we can start looking to roll for stuff like the Kai'Sa. We're actually very close to being stable also. That is horrifying. There's our Kai'Sa guaranteed. I'm going to start cutting some of the stuff to get 4 Void in. Does find a Shiv here is a great +1 on the board. Finds another Kai'Sa, does find that Ahri for Ione if we want it here. Finds Taric 2 here. Question becomes, when do we stop rolling? And the answer right now looks like right now. Gonna slam everything onto the Kai'Sa here. Wow, actually opted to, oh my god, this is Wokch. He said, you know what, I'm fighting Diana here, so I'm just gonna slam the crown onto Taric here and make this Taric into a beast. Wait, this is genius here. He actually popped this off and said, I'm fighting Diana here. Had I slammed it on Kai'Sa, I would have lost this fight way sooner. Instead, I throw it on the front line and actually win some more fights. Wow, nice juggling of the crown there to actually kill like 3 or 4 more units than we would have if we hadn't actually put the crown there. That's actually really nice tech out of Cambulee here. Still thinking Rod will finish our... Oh, does he not want Rod here for... No, I think he does. Yeah, okay. He was just making sure that he's got everything where it needs to be. But we do pick up this Spark here. Gonna pop this off here, roll down, because there is so much to roll for here, actually, so we will continue to roll here. Really hoping to find Kai'Sa 2 here. Finds Lucian Senna, that's just always a great +1 on your board, and actually, yeah, it's actually pretty tough. He hit 1 trillion frontline upgrades, but actually finds himself kind of stuck here with no Kai'Sa 2 and no Rift Herald 2, which are the biggest upgrades to hit on this board, but at least he finds all this extra stuff. This is the nice thing about this comp as well, is... the way people were playing this comp before is you kind of had to fast 9, fast 10 with it, because your end goal was always to play for the Baron Nashor. People have realized that, if you're playing this 4 Void variation, you can actually stabilize really, really hard on 8 and just top 4 games on level 8 board. I mean, look, we're 80 HP here. I mean, no downside to just stabilizing really hard here and basically guaranteeing a top 4 here. Fight a T-Hex board, which is Laser Beam and Kai'Sa, but this is why the Gunblade is so important, though that second T-Hex cast might be crazy, but hopefully we can dodge it. No, we do get T-Hexed here. Yeah, Cam a bit upset because, I mean, had we had Kai'Sa 2, this fight is actually like quite winnable, but without Kai'Sa 2, I mean, you're never winning this fight against big T-Hex here. Also, opting to, of course, hold on to these extra Void units onto bench here. Also, this guy here, Radiant TG, though it's actually kind of funny. They don't have room for it. They actually have, they have set items. They have the Brock items here, so it's actually a little bit awkward here. We get more items here, which is actually not really what you'd love. Swain's, I mean, if you hit a Swain 2, you probably play it. Gonna take tank item here. Does hit the Herald 2 and the Kai'Sa 2. All right, we finally picked this stuff up here. Going to pop off this Fawn again here. I'm assuming you're looking for Lucian Senna items, like Kraken. There's another tank item, and then he actually reforges, and now he's gonna make BT Shiv. Okay, all right. He's a Shyvana believer here, and yeah, just wants to finish his tank item here, and then BT Shiv. Voliant gets unlocked. Usually a very good in on this board, but in this spot, I'm not really sure. And yeah, Cam... Oh, wow. Really? Okay. I mean, if you believe it, Cambulee. I mean, his thought is that I have enough damage, or I have enough tankiness here. I don't really need the tankiness from the Wukong. What I lose by cutting the Wukong 2 here is a good bit of tankiness, but I actually get a lot of extra damage adding the Volibear here. I also do get a really nice future on level 9, allowing me to play for the Volibear too, as opposed to just getting stuck playing around this Wukong here. So bold play from Cam, but I think it actually makes a lot of sense in the context of we're already Tark 2, we're already Rift Herald 2. We don't really need that extra frontline here from the Wukong. So yeah, looking good here. Toggles up the TG there to the Shiv, does the anti-Diana positioning here, where Diana's just gonna get stuck between those two units. Do rotate into Brock here, which is scary. Now it is, am I crazy to think that this fight might actually be winnable? It's a Brock 1. He does have Radiant TG here. Wait, was that a second Brock on the backline? Okay, maybe this fight's less winnable. Okay, I think there was a second Brock hiding in front of that first Brock that I didn't see there. Okay, maybe that fight's not winnable, but hey, I mean, a good loss here, and you can see why people like this comp. I mean, look at this. It's 5-4. This is a crazy lobby, by the way. It's 5-4, and the whole lobby is almost dead here. We could have a situation where we're down to like top 2 by the end of stage 5, which just like never happens here. Take another Volibear item here, which ends up being adaptive. It's not the best, but not the worst at the end of the day. So, you know, we'll help Volibear get to his cast. So pretty good here. That guy also found Brock too. I mean, that guy... The nice thing is that we win streak so hard in the early game, and that guy's win streaking so hard in the late game that everybody's just going to die before us. All right, Kais here in the pocket does get kind of slashed and dashed by the Renekton. Ooh, that is a really rough fight as well. Nice positioning from player number 1 here to get the Renekton with this anti-Diana positioning. Wait, I'm gonna steal this here. So when you're playing against anti-Diana positioning, if you just put the Renekton on the corner here, is this always true? He dashes here. I mean, it seems like it is true that he's just going to dash there and then dash there. Okay, I might have to steal that, because that actually, he kind of just broke Cam's ankles there. I mean, that was really good work here. And it really sucks for Cam, but I mean, I guess lowest health enemy within 2 hexes is the way that Renekton determines his target. So, you need to dash through, which you always will with that positioning. But I mean, I guess as long as the Rift Herald doesn't take a ton of damage, Kais is usually going to be lower HP than it's lowest HP, not lowest percent HP. So yeah, I mean, honestly, kind of genius mode. All right. I mean, I was positioning Renekton in that hex, but I wasn't really doing it for that reason. And sometimes my Renekton was going backline, but I think I just learned why that is. All right, here. Gonna take another loss versus this guy. Very strong board, but I mean, not the end of the world here. We've lost 3 fights in a row, but we are just very quickly moving towards top 3. Top 2 nearly guaranteed as long as these 2 players fight each other. If one of them fights us and then the other fights Clone, that is what we are worried about here. But as long as the Brock player ends up fighting the other player, we should be totally fine here. And we can push 9 here and continue to cap out the board here. Still have no Arcanist on the board, sadly, but I mean, it is what it is. We must level here, surely. Wow, he's going to take a Hodge here for Volley item. I am really surprised by this. He opts to not level this round. I guess his thought is, I'm 2 lives regardless. I'm almost guaranteed to lose this fight regardless. So I might as well just essentially sack this fight, say I'm going to lose this fight, and then have the max amount of gold to spike my board, because that's the only way I'm winning this game, is if I cap high enough after this fight to win. And like saving HP here doesn't really matter very likely, because these players will very likely kill each other off. Huh, cool call from Cam here. And ends up, we'll see here if we can... Oh, he's considering if he can sell board. Wow. Okay. I didn't even realize that that's what he's doing. He's considering, do I have enough gold here if I sell stuff like Taric to push 10 here? Oh, and then he realizes it's 68 to level here. I'm not going to be able to sell everything and roll for Baron and field the board. It's just impossible here. Wow, that's a really nice optimization from Cam here. Just thinking about the fact that he can just go straight, just rubber band straight to 10 here. Roll down here. We do actually pick up a Swain too, and a Lucian Senna too. I mean, this is huge, and we hit great items on Lucian Senna. Roll down just barely enough gold to see if we can find the Volibear here, but still, I mean, we actually spiked our board really, really hard here. It's still a Brock too, but hey, maybe Kais is a beast here. She's healing up a lot. Actually, the Volibear did a lot of work, and wait a second. It's the dub for Cam. Wait, actual Void Masterclass. Kind of insane that he wins that fight against Brock and all this stuff here. I'm actually shocked that he won, but I mean, a clean-ish win for him, and just honestly perfectly played. This game was honestly kind of a masterclass of this comp. Well, hope you guys enjoyed this video. Also, I just realized that this was a different player than this player. What the heck? Okay, whatever. All right, hope you guys enjoyed this video. If you did, please like, comment, and subscribe. Check my Twitch and Spotify, all the links down below. This is my first video of the new year. Actually, the other one kind of came out after January 1st, so technically video 2 of the new year. The first one recorded in the new year. So happy new year to everybody. Hope you have an amazing 2026. We will talk soon about all my plans for 2026. I'll quit yapping about it. See you guys in the next video. Bye-bye.